$21,000 per month?
Per month, $971 per month.
$21,971 per month.
Per month.
Okay. Congratulations, Mr. Choppa.
Yeah, it just sucks for me that I work my butt off like that, and then I turn around to try to get myself a little bit ahead, and then here comes child support again saying, oh, you made more money this year, we're going to get you again.
The proposed agreement is that Mr. Choppa will cover health insurance for the children through his employment at a cost of $440.66. Mr. Choppa will cover dental insurance for the children through his employment at a cost of $54.14. Mr. Choppa is currently in future pay by $914. And then we have Mr. Choppa's income. We show Mr. Choppa's income for the fourth quarter of 2024 as $73,931. We have the third quarter of 2024 of $57,419. Second quarter of 2024 at $70,407. First quarter of 2024 of $58,030. And his monthly gross income of $21,971.66 for the year of 2024. Mr. Choppa.
$21,000 per month?
Per month, $971 per month.
$21,971 per month.
Per month.
Okay. Congratulations, Mr. Choppa. All right, go ahead, Mr. Shaffer.
Mr. Choppa, have I accurately stated those facts?
I'm assuming so.
All right. And do you agree to the things that I have stated to the court?
As that's gross income, right?
Gross income. Yes, sir. Gross income.
Does that sound accurate, Mr. Choppa?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Okay, Mr. Choppa, I'm going to stop your video feed because your audio is a little bit choppy. Okay, sometimes it helps to turn off the camera.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Shaffer, just because it's an unusually high number and because Mr. Choppa seems not entirely sure, can you explain how you arrived at those figures?
Generally, Your Honor, we would not share that information, but that was sent to us by his employer. I can share that document if you would like me to.
Just an explanation of where the information came from.
Okay.
So Mr. Choppa, does that help you feel more confident that it's accurate information since it's from your employer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I don't think, I just know that out of that 21,000, I see maybe 9,000 of that out of the month.
Okay, and given the fact that Mr. Shaffer has outlined the last 4 quarters of income, he most likely has totaled all of those figures and then divided that total by 12 months. Does that sound right, Mr. Shaffer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it's an average over the past year of wages, Mr. Choppa. So I realize that is a gross figure, and I realize what you receive after withholdings may be very different. So just so we're all on the same page. Go ahead, Mr. Shaffer.
Okay. Those are the agreed to portions of this order. May I now call Ms. Martinez and see if she agrees to those things?
Yes.
Ms. Martinez, the facts that I stated to the court, are those things that you also agree to?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have I added or left anything out?
No.
Okay. And have you been forced or coerced in any way into this agreement?
No, sir.
Okay. Your Honor, I'd now like to move on to the contested matters.
Go ahead.
Mr. Choppa. The state is seeking child support at the cap, which is $11,700 per a month for monthly gross income. And how many other children do you have?
I have 3 with Dorothy Martinez and 1 with my ex.
Okay, and how many of those 3 are under the age of 18?
3.
So 2 children with Miss Martinez are under the 18, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 children with Miss Martinez, that's who we're dealing with today. Can you tell me those children's names?
Victoria Ann Choppa, Deacon Choppa.
Okay, and what is Victoria's age?
She's 15, 16, I think.
She's 17.
17. There you go. My bad.
And the other child, what name did you state?
Deacon,
And how old is Deacon?
he's 11.
Okay. And then is there a third child that's over 18?
Yes. Well, he's an
And
adult
how-
now.
Okay. And then you have one other child, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And how old is that child?
7.
7. Mr. Choppa, the state is seeking child support in the amount of $2,630 per a month. Do you disagree with that amount?
I do.
And why do you disagree with that amount?
Because I'm a father that still provides for their child. Even though I pay child support, I still buy them school clothes, pay for their medicine, pay for their doctor's bills. They need money, I give it to them. No questions asked. So I don't have nothing against. They're my children. The only thing that
how much money have you sent them this year over and above child support in cash money?
I would have to look back, but I know it's in the thousands.
Okay. How much money in doctor's bills have you paid for them this past year over and above?
I'm gonna say within the last couple of months, maybe close to three, maybe $400.
How much do you think you should pay in child support?
I wanted to do $1,600. That's something that I can't argue about. When I give child support, I can't argue about what she does with her money. She can do whatever she wants. She can pay that bill. She can not pay bills. She can sit there and do all that. I can't question that. I've always known that. My thing is, I still want to be able to do for my children when they ask that. When I get capped like this is where I say I get behind. I end up paying taxes, end up owing in child support, and it's all y'all have it all on paperwork. Where I was capped one time when I first started having to travel out in the oil field, and I had to leave my South Texas region and started traveling out of state, and I was paying almost, I think it was $3,500, and I was still doing for my children, and I always do for my children, but just that's what I figure. I'm not. My thing is, I am not there to pay for her lifestyle or her other outside of her house, other than my children.
Do you live close to the children?
I live 3-4 houses down from them.
Okay. Do you have to spend any extra money in travel in order to exercise visitation?
She communicates with me more about my kids, my daughter, which I'm grateful for. And I want to know more, and they're not. The only thing that I'm bad about is that I've been in the oil field and I've been traveling and out of there, that I do not get to see my kids be there for everything, that birthdays, Christmases, all that stuff. I might make it up on when I go. Those happen.
Mr. Choppa, your audio is not great.
I'm
Mr. Choppa, can you hear me all right?
sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Your audio is not working very well. And I don't feel comfortable proceeding as it is, because I'm not catching every word in your testimony. The only thing I can think to fix the problem might be to have you dial in like a phone call to proceed today.
Can you hear me a little
Otherwise,
bit
we
better?
may have to.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I said, can you hear me a little bit better now?
Yes.
Okay. I went and isolated myself in a small room.
Okay. Well, we'll see if that resolves the issue. So I understand the two of you live just a few houses apart. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. And so Mr. Shaffer asked if you had to spend extra money to exercise your visits. I understand you may travel for work quite a bit.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So are you able to exercise your regular visits without a significant expense?
I wouldn't say an expense. My job, I go out of state for 20 days, come home for 10 days. And it's a set schedule. So I can shift some days, but it's just messed up with it. So that's what I was explaining to the courts was I've been a father. I do what I got to do for my kids. Emotionally, being there when like Christmases, their birthdays, I've not made that. I don't make those. I've missed a lot of birthdays. I've missed a lot of Christmases, but when I get home, I make it up to them.
Okay, so let me ask you this. The extra funds you have either spent or provided, how are you, I understand you're in future pay, just under $1,000. So I know that money was paid through the OAG, but the extra thousands, and $300 to $400 for doctor visits, how are you providing those funds?
Cash App and Zelle.
Okay, and who are you sending that to?
Either Dorothy Martinez or my daughter.
Okay, so funds that you're sending to your child may have to be credited to gifts or like an allowance.
Yeah,
That's not
I understand
accounted
that.
for child support unless you and Miss Martinez agreed upon that, okay?
Okay.
Mr. Shaffer, what is the current support obligation?
You're under the current support obligation. Dealing with my new system, I'm just going to look at the order very quickly. I believe it's $513.
That would be every other week, so I'm not sure like the total though.
It's like $1,250 something.
One second.
And when was that order done?
That order was done 2022.
Okay.
January 1st, 2022 is the sign date.
Okay, and do you have the current obligation, Mr. Shaffer?
Yes, ma'am, it is. $914.
914. Okay. All right. So did you have any more questions for Mr. Choppa?
No, ma'am.
All right. Do you have questions for Ms. Martinez?
Just briefly.
Okay, go ahead.
Miss Martinez, how much money has he given you personally the past year?
So the past year for school clothes, he did give me 2,000 in cash
In cash. Okay.
to do school shopping. He usually does the school shopping, but like he said, he's working, so he gave me the money to do the school shopping this year. And then as far as medical bills for him, he's probably right as far as maybe about $400 because our daughter had been sick for a few months this past year, so she was in and out of doctors and stuff like that. So
Have you expended any funds for medical bills?
what do you mean expended? What does that mean?
Have you paid any monies for medical bills in the past year?
Oh, I have, yes, but he does help, so it's kind of both of us.
How much have you paid in the past
Ooh.
year?
Ooh. With my daughter being sick and co-pays, we kind of split that. So I'm gonna say it's been maybe a total of like 600, and I've done maybe 300, and him the other half.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Martinez, you guys typically split the doctor's bills and co-pays, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's what your court order probably says.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
So that's exactly what you should be doing. As to the cash apps and such that he sends to your daughter, were you aware of that?
Yes, I am aware. And usually when he does send me Cash App to my personal, it's for the doctors or for medicine. And he'll notate it on there.
Okay. Okay. So the money that he sends your daughter, what is that for? Do you see
Usually
any?
no, ma'am. Usually I won't know about it till later. She'll tell me she asked him for money for food or to go with her friends or something, like that.
Okay. And by food, do you mean like?
Like she can order DoorDash if we're not home or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. Do you think he should? Well, I can't give him any more credit than I already am. But is that a regular occurrence?
Not too often. I mean, it's every now and then that she'll ask him. It's not a regular thing. It's not a consistent thing, no, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Anything else you think I should know?
No.
Okay, so you're asking me to set the new child support at the guideline calculation of $2,630 a month. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you feel like Mr. Choppa can afford that and still pay bills and maintain what he normally does for your daughter?
I mean, seeing the numbers, I would assume so. I wasn't aware of how much money he was making or anything like
Okay.
that.
Okay. All right. Okay, anything else, Mr. Shaffer?
Just summation, Your Honor. The state is asking
Before you
for.
do that, Mr. Choppa, do you have anything else?
I just want y'all to document this down. Whatever y'all set it at, and if it's at the cap, I want, because when I know when this happens again, I want to notate that y'all are gonna see that I'm gonna get behind in child support when I haven't been when it was set kind of fairly a little bit. Now that it's probably going to go up, you're going to see a cap. And I try to explain to Mr. Shaffer how I get paid, but I get paid an awesome check in 2 weeks, and then the following check, I get an $800 to $1,000 check, and that's me being home. I don't get paid for it. That's just whatever I work for that 2 week period, maybe 2-3 days, and then I come home. So I know the systems, I was asking child support, like if I only make so much money on that one check, my child support won't get pulled from it because they're only allowed to take a certain percentage out of my check if I make a certain amount. So then I start getting behind. Then I end up owing taxes and owing child support. Then I'm getting threatened by child support that they're going to take my license, take my this and that, which just mentally stresses me out.
Okay, Mr. Choppa, the guideline calculation and the cap that you've been talking about was, as Mr. Shaffer reminded the court, at the beginning of this proceeding has been raised by the Texas legislature.
Yes.
Now, guideline calculations are applied in most cases because that's a framework the legislature has outlined for courts to impose so that child support is applied consistently across the state. Now, I am the judge, and because you all are not in agreement, it's up to me to decide whether the cap should be imposed or a different amount would be more appropriate under the circumstances. So I understand that your income varies. I can see that in your income history from the past year. And I understand pretty well what oil fields income is like, and that that's not the most stable career, but it is very lucrative at times. So when you're out of state for 20 days, you're making very good money. And then when you're back home for 10 days, you're not making so good money. Is that about right?
Yeah, I don't make no money when I'm home.
Oh, okay. Okay. But the out of state check is quite is substantial.
That's what I told Mr. Shaffer. I said last year was one of the best years I've had. This year it has not started off like that, but I mean, I know y'all go by the thing, so it's just oil, like you said, it's just oil field life. One year I'm up, one year I'm not so up.
Mm-hmm. So tell me how you arrived at the 1,600 figure for what you think you can afford.
I figured that if I could allow her $1,600, I can't ever question it. And the only reason I say this, ma'am, is before when I got capped and I actually came onto this other company and left South Texas, I got capped and it was $3,500. I think at that time it was $9,100. They were actually it was gonna be a ridiculous amount of child support. I think I was gonna end up paying like $5,000 until I mentioned the cap. And I ended up paying $3,500. She was living in my childhood home that was under my finances. It was under my thing. And I left her with her owing $30,000. I showed her how to budget the money that she was gonna get. And I told her you would sit there and you'll be able to pay all your bills and still have about $1,200 to $1,000 a month after that of doing whatever you need to do with it. Well, during that time, I really can't say them. This is why I get frustrated. She lost that house. She foreclosed it, came in.
Okay, Mr. Choppa, I understand that y'all probably have an extensive history, but what I need to know, what I'm asking is,
that's why.
but okay, history aside, because today's order has to be based on today's circumstances.
Yeah.
So
go ahead, ma'am.
Mr. Choppa, you have proposed that your child support only be increased to $1,600 per month. Tell me why you think that's more appropriate than the $2,600 that Mr. Shaffer has calculated based on what your current income situation is.
With $1,600, I feel that's enough to feed my children, sit there. She could still pay her bills or whatever, house them and all that, feed them and still have money. And then I still have money to continue to, hey, take them for school, go get them school clothes, sit there and send them money when they ask for it. All that kind of stuff. I feel I can do that. Like if it got to the cap, I don't think I could do that. Like, she's gonna have to sit there and
Okay, can you give me some hard figures to help me understand how you're arriving at that?
I thought I knew when the last time during COVID, that's when I modified for the child support. I think that's when it dropped down. But I thought I had paperwork on there was like she was supposed to be getting $1,200. Since my
Well,
son,
if there's a medical support obligation, that may be added to that.
yeah,
Or if you have an arrears payment.
honestly, ma'am, I do not even really pay attention to the medical thing because of my insurance. Whether my children are on it or not, my insurance still stays the same. I still pay the same, so that doesn't even the medical thing doesn't really bother me. If my kids weren't on it, I'd still have to pay that same amount.
Okay,
So the medical helping out medical wise, like how we did say that she does pay copays, I pay copays. If she can't do it, I got it. We're cordial with that, and I'm appreciative of that.
okay. Mr. Choppa, are there any other expenses you have that are larger amounts that every month would make it hard for you to pay the cap child support calculation?
Ma'am, I'm going to tell you right now, what the money I'm making right now, I pay child support. What I'm paying on child support to her and my ex and everything, I probably walk away with maybe $1,000 in my pocket a month. And I don't know how I do it, but I still manage to do things with the kids. I'm always going to do what I got to do to figure it out. And that's what I was explaining to Mr. Shaffer. If I got to put more hours in and run 168 hours a week, if my job allows me to do it, I'll do it just to get that extra money. It just sucks for me that I work my butt off like that. And then I turn around to try to get myself a little bit ahead. And then here comes child support again saying, oh, you made more money this year. We're going to get you again.
All right. Did we lose Miss Martinez? We're back on the record. Cause number B121096 CBB. We had lost Miss Martinez for a few moments, but now it looks like we have everyone back. You all are still under oath, and I have no idea where we were. What was happening when we left off, Mr. Shaffer?
I believe Mr. Choppa was explaining his expenses.
Yes. Okay. Mr. Choppa.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what else did you have to tell me?
That's it, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Martinez, do you have a response to his request or his
No, ma'am.
Okay, right. So you, although you did not know what his wages were before we started today, you believe he can afford to pay the $2,630 a month.
I do.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Shaffer?
No, ma'am. Other than the future pay, that's the only two things that we're dealing with today.
All right, and the parties were agreed for the future pay to apply to the, well, there is no arrears, to apply to, I guess, current support or
Yes, ma'am.
for it to be applied, I guess.
To roll forward.
Okay, yes, that, okay. Let's see. All right, the court has considered all testimony and evidence presented, and while the court is mindful of Mr. Choppa's request, without any more hard evidence, such as extensive expenses outside of child support, the court is really limited in any sort of deviation that I could order. However, the court is recognizing Mr. Choppa's variable income situation and ordering child support to be set at $2,000 even each month. starting November 1, 2025. In addition, the court is granting all of the agreed upon terms that the parties had reached, and the court is ordering court costs to be assessed against Mr. Choppa as billed by the district clerk. And lastly, the court is reminding all of the parties, if they are not happy with my rulings, they have 3 days in which they may file a motion for trial de novo and ask for another judge to hear the case all over again. But that is a 3-day timeline. If you decide to pursue that, you've got to file that with the district clerk and make sure the AG and the other parent gets a copy of that request. Are there any questions?
No,
No, ma'am.
ma'am.
All right, Mr. Shaffer, I'm giving you 7 days to get the order to me. Folks, he will circulate that to your email addresses. If you don't sign it by next Friday, I will sign without your signatures, as long as it matches up with my notes for what was ordered today. Anything I've left out, Mr. Shaffer?
No, ma'am, that is it.
All right, then with that, we are adjourned. Mr. Choppa, Ms. Martinez, thank you for your attendance today.